Hey everybody, it's Nathan here, and I've had a few people curious about how I do my like the stuff that I have on my computer when I teach TPRS class. So I found some time here to make a short tutorial about how to set some of the stuff up if you ever want to do it. So you can see here that I've kind of taken the slides from Look I Can Talk. I think this is actually on maybe it was on the Google Slides version, I'm not sure. But I just beefed it up a little bit more and added more and added these verbs. So this is kind of like the verb wall that I have up when my students are describing the situation or when I do a triangling video so I just record myself talking to the camera and the students answer in full sentences on their own. They can look at this, and then I also have a past tense version of those verbs. So if you really wanted this slide, just let me know and I can send it to you, or maybe you can create something similar for yourself. But what I get most questions about is this word wall over here. So you can see some of the words we used in our most recent class. But so these are actually what I'm not sure if the technical name is, but it's from the developer tab in PowerPoint that you have to set up these text box. So you see I have these text boxes. So I'm going to show you how to make these, and then I'll show you a couple other things too, I think. So we'll see. So if you want to set these up, there may be some options that you'll need to go through first on PowerPoint. They're super simple, but you do have to do them. So let's go into a blank presentation here. In order to make those blocks, you need to set up the developer tab in your ribbon. So you're going to go to your options here, and then you'll go to customize ribbon. Then under customize ribbon, you're going to scroll down until you find, actually I think it's on this side, until you find developer, which most likely will not be checked on yours. So you need to check this, and that's going to put the developer tab up in your ribbon, which is where you'll make these boxes. So once you have that checked on, then you can say okay. Go to your developer tab. I'm going to get rid of these. And you're going to make a text box. So here you can see insert text box. Here's insert a label. We don't want that. We want a text box. And then you can make it however big you want. But you're actually going to need to adjust the size of this box depending on how you set up your desktop. So that will make more sense in a few moments. Now, this text box you can only type in when you're in the presentation. So if you're not in the presentation, you can't type in this box. Okay, it only works in presentation mode. And I don't like a white box. I like my screen to be black. I don't know, it's just my personal preference. I just think it makes things stand out more. It feels easier on my eyes. I don't know if that's just in my head, but I like to make things black. So I make the background black of my slide, and then I also need to make this black. Now, since this is a developer tab, it's kind of weird to adjust things. So you're going to go to properties, and in the properties you're going to have all these boxes, okay? So basically you're telling whether or not you want this box to do certain things. So it either says true or false for some things, meaning do it or don't do it, or you can select more specific options. So auto size, I'm not going to really I don't need it to auto size itself. Auto tab, I'm not actually sure what that does. I'm just going to leave that. Okay, background color. That's what this back color means. I want to change this because I don't want it to white. So I want it black. choose anything that looks black here, and now it's black. This allows me to change the background style from being opaque to transparent. So I could just make it transparent and then it would just use whatever I have background here. But then if I want to have a border, actually let me turn the border off because I don't even like the border. So I can just turn this off by making the border black, which there's none. Oh, anyway. So border and then drag. So if I want to drag stuff in the box, I can turn that on or turn it off. This is whether or not the box is enabled. And then this is for using the return button or the enter button. So I want the enter key to work. So I'm going to turn that on for this behavior. This is select all or recall selection. You don't have to worry. Don't worry too much about this. Okay, here's where I want to change my font because I don't like Arial personally. I like to use Berlin. In my videos, I use a different font, but I like Berlin Sans for this. And then I like to make it kind of big, but not too big. So 24 and bold. But you can, change this however you want. Okay. And obviously I don't want a black color because that's not going to show up. See, these system colors don't have a lot of choice, but you can go to your palette and you've got more choices, and you can also make your own colors, which I did, but how did I do that? Oh, you can change this number here, I think. But right click. Discovering things all the time. So yeah, you can right click on here and make any color that you want. I kind of like a red color, but I don't want it to be too harsh on the eyes. So we got this red color. And then I want to change I don't want to change my mouse icon. I do want multi-line. Definitely want this. So multi-line is going to allow you to go down and have multiple lines. So you want to have that on. And I have recently turned the scroll bars on so that I can scroll through stuff, but it's also not necessary. And I haven't decided which I like better, having scroll bars or just having to go up and down. Can't quite decide. And then I want my tab key to tab in the box. So I'm going to turn that on. And you can choose how you want your text aligned, and you can choose whether or not you want word wrap, which I recommend, because otherwise you're going to have words disappearing. So that's most of the settings that you're going to need to set up. You can mess around with other ones and discover what they do. So again, this only works if we're in, I got this border, but whatever, in here. So I can, hello, I am typing in this box. So this allows you to edit things while you're in presentation mode. And the reason I like to use this is because despite this border that's on here right now that I don't really want, and I can mess around later, see if I can get rid of that, but I don't have other borders on here. Now you're probably thinking, wait a minute, this is taking up the whole screen. How do I do anything else? Well, we'll get to that part. But then I make another one of these boxes and I literally just copy and paste. And I have the same box and I just put it right next to the other one for my English. So it's got Spanish here in red, and then English I make blue, which is my personal choice. You can use whatever colors you want. So I'll take kind of a light blue color like this. And now whatever I type in there will be this kind of light blue color. So there's some contrast between the two. So now let me look at, maybe I don't want bold. So if you decide, oh, I don't want that, just go back here where it says font, click this dot, 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 and I'm going to change to demi-bold. So it's kind of bold, but not as bold. There. And maybe I like that better, or maybe I like the bold. Anyway, You can mess around with that. Close this, and then again, start the presentation to type in the box. Okay, and you can go down, 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 down like this. And if you don't have the scroll bars, then you'll just have to use the arrow key to go back up to the top. Or you can enable the scroll bars. So that's how you set up these. Now, if you want them to not take up the whole screen, there is another option you'll need to set up for both this and your Look I Can Talk PowerPoint. As you can see, this doesn't take up my whole screen. So we're going to go to Slideshow, and then we're going to go to Set Up Slideshow. And you can see right here, it's currently set to presented by a speaker in full screen. I want to change to an individual window. Okay, so I just click that. There's also some other options in here if you want to play around with them, changing your laser color, stuff like that. But I want to set it to a window. So now when I open my presentation, it's a window, and I can still use my taskbar, which is great, because then I have access to my whole computer during my presentation if I need to open anything or do something. And then I just drag it over to the edge until I see this glowing thing. If you have more than one screen, you have to be careful. Otherwise, you'll go on to the next screen and you won't get it where you want it. So just bring it to the edge until you see this phantom outline. And then, pop. Now, you see these boxes are really tiny. That's where I was talking about needing to adjust the size of these. So depending on how big you make your window, you may have to, adjust the size. And so that was definitely not even close to what I need. So I just make them bigger. Oh, you may be wondering, maybe you don't even know how to do two at once. So if I want to move both at one time, I click one, hold the Shift button, and I can click more than one option. The Control button also does the same, or it doesn't do the same, but it does a similar function. I'm not going to go into the difference of that, but the Shift and the Control buttons do slightly different things, but they allow you to select multiple things. So then I just make this bigger and bigger. And then I check it. Oh, now it's too big. Okay. So I just go back and readjust. There's probably a more accurate way to do this, but okay, there we go. It's good enough for now. So now I've got them this size, which if they're like this, it's not going to work. But because I have them fitting over here to match this, it's the perfect size and I can type in here. So I can type in my box. Now you see, the font's really small. So I'm going to have to go out and adjust the size of the font because I don't like the size of this font. So that's something I can do later. Now, you're going to do the same with your Look I Can Talk to make it a window. You go to Slideshow, Set Up Slideshow. Yours is probably set to be presented by speaker. So you just switch it to browsed by an individual to a window. And then take this, drag it to the edge. Okay, now let's say that you open these up and they're not the size that you want them because you open them up and they open like this. Okay, so what you're going to do is drag one of them to this side and then open the other. Then open your Look I Can Talk because that's the one we care about in terms of its size. So we want to get rid of these borders. So just grab this and drag until you have no black borders. Okay, and now this didn't adjust, so I can just take it out again and move it. And then voila! Now I have this taking up a good chunk of the screen, and I have my word wall over here, which I can add text on the fly right in class, and it keeps everything neat and orderly because everything is on the same line. Okay. When you get down further, and you go past this point, you might want to start deleting words because then keeping them lined up is a little trickier. But as you can see, you got lots of space here, even if you make the text bigger. And then just delete words, as you don't need them. Delete them from anywhere within the middle or whatever. And then just move everything down and start your new words at the top, and you can just keep using your wall like that. And then I just save as every presentation, and I've just put the date first, 11/20 for today, 11/20/22, or 11/20/20, and then I put in word wall after that, so I can easily find the day if for some reason I need to go back to it, or I just want to open the most recent. So that's all of that. You see I've made this space here because I put my timer in there. So there's this slideshow timer, which you can get online. Just type in slideshow timer, and the first thing that comes up will be Countdown Kings. And you can just download it for free. I just put it right here. So you can download this for free. There is a pro version for like 20 bucks for one computer, and then more if you want multiple computers. I don't have the pro version, so I'm sure there's a lot more like kind of cool things that you can do here. Again, I like the dark theme, so I've enabled that. It starts out with a white theme, but I don't like that. So just a word to the wise here. If you make this timer smaller, it's fine, but when the time ends, and I don't know if this option changes when you buy a pro version, it's going to revert back to its like normal size, I guess you would say. So when it returns to time's up, it's always going to come back to this size. Maybe not when you make it big. Let's see. Yeah, if you make it bigger than the time's up, it won't revert, but if you make it smaller, it's going to revert. So I just leave it at this size, which is the smallest size that you can have it at. Okay, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. So to review, you need to enable your developer tab under your options, customize ribbon, developer tab over here, make your developer boxes, your text boxes, edit their properties, and then they'll work, and then go to your slideshow to set up your slideshow so that they're windowed slideshows. This will also work with Google Slides. So when you go into Google Slides, let's see if I can do that here. Google Slides, here's one, Japanese. Oh, also this timer will always stay on top. It's a little buggy though. Sometimes it might disappear on you. So if it disappears on you, just Control-Alt-Delete to open your task manager, and then go in there and find this, and you can shut it down. Yeah, it's free, so sometimes you get things that are buggy. So I like to put it down here, not all the way down by taskbar, so that if it disappears, I can still find it. So yeah, if you're using Google Slides, then you go to Present, and it goes to full screen mode, but then just click here, and go to, oh no, I'm sorry, not here, right here. Click on this, and then it'll make it a window. And then voila, same thing. Then you have this windowed version with all my plethora of tabs. I'm sure you have many tabs too. I also have dark mode turned on, so it's a little weird. But then you have, your Google Slides if that's what you're using. So, hope this is helpful. Please comment if you have any questions. Or if there's anything else that you've seen in my classes that you would like to know how I do. I think this is pretty much all that I use. So with that, that we're coming to the end of this video. So thank you so much. Adios.